Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. If you have a news topic or event that you would like to see covered here, give us a call. The studio number is 970-677-4119. Today's show runs Thursday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is January 10th, 2019, and now the news at noon. Reported in the Journal, Photo AP file. Flu season in Colorado is less severe than the record-setting flu season the state experienced last year. That according to state health officials. Statewide, 960 people have been hospitalized with flu since September 30th, and the hospitalization rate is currently slightly less than 4 people per 100,000, according to data from the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. At this time last year, the hospitalization rate for flu was about 8 people per 100,000, according to the state. Across Colorado, 4,650 flu-related hospitalizations from September 1st, 2017 to May 19th, 2018 were reported last season. In La Plata County, 2 people have been hospitalized this season, and in Montezuma County, no one has been hospitalized for the flu, according to the state. Thus far, the severity of the flu season in southwest Colorado is about the same as last year, said Rosalind Penny, San Juan Basin Public Health Regional Epidemiologist. The season has likely not hit its peak yet, so we cannot really say if it's better or worse than last year, she said. The most dominant strain of flu this season is the H1N1, which can cause more severe illness in younger populations, said Rachel Herlihy, state epidemiologist with the State Health Department. Residents 4 years old and younger have been particularly hard hit by the virus this season, she said. However, she said, in general, younger residents are less likely to be hospitalized, and that makes flu seasons seem milder based on hospitalization data. The state also examines data from outpatient clinics and the percentage of patients testing positive for the flu to determine when flu season is peaking, she said. Quote, without a doubt, hospitalizations are the tip of the iceberg. It is difficult to gauge how many people have the flu because state data does not include every provider who is testing for flu, and it does not count people who get the flu but do not go to the doctor for testing, Penny said. Hospitalization also reflect how people are reacting to the flu virus rather than a gauge of how many people are getting the flu. Herlihy could not say whether the flu season is tapering off yet. It's possible Colorado may not be halfway through the flu season just yet. The state could also see a second wave of a different strain of flu later in the season. From the Journal, file photo. One of 2 defendants suspected of kidnapping, robbing, and threatening to kill and bury a hitchhiker on County Road G in December laughed in Montezuma Court on Wednesday when Judge Jenny Lynn Lawrence refused to lower his $75,000 bond. Toyac residents Clint Lehner, 28, and Keshawn Begay, 20, picked up a female who was hitchhiking near Shiprock, New Mexico on December 7th, according to a Montezuma County Sheriff's Office incident report. A pregnant woman who Lehner said was his wife was also a passenger. The female hitchhiker later told law enforcement that she thought Lehner and Begay would take her home off U.S. Highway 491 in New Mexico. Once the vehicle passed the Colorado border, however, she became concerned. According to the incident report, the woman said Lehner threatened to kill her with a knife and bury her. She used her cell phone to call 911, and Begay then broke her phone, according to the report. The pregnant woman reportedly attempted to persuade Lehner to stop threatening the hitchhiker and let her out of the car. By this time, Lehner had driven a maroon sedan with a broken back window to G Road. According to the incident report, Lehner told Begay to not let the hitchhiker out of the vehicle. They began grabbing at her and her backpack and purse. After a struggle, the report states the hitchhiker, quote, fell from the vehicle, but was not able to retrieve her belongings. The vehicle kept heading towards the Utah border. Responding to the hitchhiker's 911 call as well, a passerby who reported seeing a woman bleeding on the side of the road, an MCSO sergeant headed down Road G and found the maroon sedan parked in the westbound lane of the 9000 block, blocking the travel lane. He conducted a high-risk stop. Deputies soon arrived, and the sergeant instructed Lehner to throw the keys out of the window. But Lehner said his wife had removed the keys from the ignition and was holding onto them. She then threw the keys out. Lehner then exited the car and laid down on the ground as instructed. Begay was found passed out in the back seat of the car. He was intoxicated and had urinated on himself, according to the report. Officers found 3 knives and a broken glass meth pipe on his body. He was arrested without much incident, but Lehner presented complications for officers. Lehner, who was intoxicated, repeatedly told officers to kill him, shoot him, and shove his face into the pavement, according to the incident report. When he refused to get inside a patrol car or vehicle, the sergeant used his stun device twice on Lehner. Lehner proceeded to hit his head against the inside of the window, causing self-inflicted abrasions. He continued to be uncooperative at Southwest Memorial Hospital, where he was taken for medical clearance before the Montezuma County Detention Center. As Lehner and Begay are co-defendants, Markuson asked that their preliminary hearings be set for the same day. They will both appear in court on February 13th. Lehner is charged with second-degree kidnapping, where the victim was also robbed, a Class 2 felony, aggravated robbery with an accomplice armed with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or wound if resistance is offered, a Class 3 felony, and driving under the influence and resisting arrest. Begay is charged with aggravated robbery with an accomplice armed with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or wound if resistance is offered, a Class 3 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Reported in the Journal Photo Durango Herald File. It's official. A permanent weather radar system for Southwest Colorado and the Four Corners is on its way. Recently, the Colorado Department of Local Affairs, or DOLA, awarded $1.7 million in funding for permanent radar systems, including the biggest obstacle in the project's clearing the biggest obstacle in the project's path. Funding was the big piece, and the state has been incredibly committed to and generous with this project because they recognize the need and value for all of Southwest Colorado and beyond, Megan Graham, spokeswoman for La Plata County, said. The Four Corners has long been known as a blind spot when it comes to weather and radar modeling, as major hubs in Albuquerque, Grand Junction, and Flagstaff take in data at elevations too high to accurately hone in on areas around Durango, for instance. In Grand Junction, the radar system on Grand Mesa can't pick up storms that come into the Four Corners at elevations below 28,000 feet, which causes weather forecasters to miss a good amount of incoming storms. For years, there has been a desire to bring in a radar system for the region, but the need became critical after the 416 fire last summer created unprecedented flood damage when storms hit fire-burn scars. DOLA recognized this need in granting the money. Quote, "It's very important for you guys to be able to know with radar what's coming," said Natrice Bryant, a spokeswoman for DOLA, because notification is key to be able to prepare and recover when necessary. Chuck Stevens, interim La Plata County manager, said there's no set time limit or timeline for when the radar system will be functional, but those invested in the project would like to break ground this spring. We want to move quickly, he said. The next big hurdle is finding the right spot for the radar system, Graham said. The radar system needs to be set up in a location that both maximizes coverage while at the same time is near infrastructure and utilities. There may be a site with awesome coverage, but if it's 5 miles from electricity and broadband, it doesn't do us a whole lot of good, she said. A group was formed comprised of members of the Colorado Water Conservation Board, La Plata County, and the Southern Ute Indian Tribe to select a location that makes the most sense. Efforts to reach Butch Knowlton, La Plata County's director for the Office of Emergency Management, who is a member of the group, were not successful as of Wednesday afternoon. As far as funding the continued maintenance and operation of the system, local officials are using Alamosa County as a good model. There, the county set up a group of partners to help keep the radar running. This will benefit the entire Four Corners, Graham said. Even if it doesn't reach a specific municipality or location, it'll be able to show what's coming and things that couldn't previously be seen. And now, let's take a look at what we can do for the time being as far as predicting the weather. The national weather map shows through the New England region an advisory is expanded for secondary snowbelt area and higher terrain south of the Cleveland area. Lake effect snow will continue through mid-morning, and storm totals of snowfall from 3 to 6 inches or 6 to 12 inches in the warning areas. Back across the Intermountain West, snow is expected with more tumultuous weather from rain to snow all the way south through New Mexico and into western Texas, and that system is behind the low pressure that is still bringing in snow and rain all the way back up through to the Pacific Northwest. So regionally, the only current hazardous outlook states that areas of dense fog were possible in portions of northeast Utah and northwest Colorado today, more specifically along Highway 40 from Elk Springs to Vernal and along Interstate I-70 from Grand Junction to Green River. A passing disturbance may bring some snow to the mountains of the Continental Divide tonight through to Friday night. Accumulations there will range from 2 to 4 inches, and after that, the next chance for any precipitation will be early next week. And now for the DCTV local 5-day outlook. Today, mostly cloudy with a high near 36. Tonight, cloudy and then gradually becoming partly cloudy with a low around 20. Friday, partly sunny with a high near 32 degrees with light winds from 5 to 15 miles from the north. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low around 19, and the weekend is still looking to be nice but staying cold, with Saturday mostly sunny and a high near 34 degrees. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low around 18. Sunday mostly sunny with a high near 33 again. Sunday night mostly clear with a low to 17. And now Monday is looking partly sunny, warming up with a high near 36 degrees. Monday night mostly cloudy with a low around 23. And Tuesday mostly cloudy with a high near 37. Tuesday night mostly cloudy with a low around 24. And last night was an amazing sunset with all the pillowy cloud coverage. Here's an example of just one of the many photos posted to the Facebook group, Dove Creek Local Weather Photos. We invite you to join us there or email your amazing weather photos to dcbnnews@gmail.com, and we'll share them here on the weather segment. And now, back to the news. Reported by the Durango Herald, a clock is ticking on the current U.S. economic expansion, the second longest on record. But three economists who delivered their economic forecast for 2019 in a Durango conference expect the good times will continue through the year, albeit at a more moderate pace. Richard Webekind, director of the Business Research Division and associate professor at the Leeds School of Business at the University of Colorado in Boulder, along with two other economic leaders, looked into their crystal balls on Tuesday to deliver their economic expectations for 2019. The two other speakers were Robert Tino Sonora, Associate Director of the Bureau of Business and Economic Research and Research Professor at the College of Business Administration at the University of Montana, who recently left Fort Lewis College, and Tino Quinlan, a Vice President and economist with Wells Fargo Securities in Charlotte, North Carolina. Their presentations came before about 100 people at the 27th Annual Southwest Economic Outlook held at the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College. At the moment, the U.S. economy is in the middle of the second longest expansion in history. Only the economic cycle of the 1990s was longer, fueled in part by the internet technology boom during that decade. If the current economic expansion, which began in June of 2009, continues through July, it will have surpassed the 1990s as the longest on record. Quote, certainly a recession is out there as something in the background, but currently Colorado is moving right along, doing great as a state in comparison to the rest of the country, Webekind said. He said Business Research Division economists at the end of 2017 anticipated flat or decreased job growth in Colorado in 2018, but instead, the state added 65,000 jobs for the year, even more than the 56,200 jobs added in 2017. At the end of 2017, employers were telling researchers at CU they were having difficulty filling open positions, but Colorado continued to attract new residents from around the country despite high housing and rental costs, Webekind said. In addition, people not yet of retirement age who had been, quote, sitting on the sidelines, not participating in the labor force, once again began searching for and finding jobs. A lot of people doubted that Colorado would have one of the highest labor participation rates, given legalized marijuana and its reputation for ski bums, Webekind said. In reality, the Centennial State has the third highest labor participation rate in the country at 69.1%, he said. Quinlan agreed a recession in 2019 remains unlikely despite the length of the current expansion. Only an exogenous shock, such as the trade war extending for 6 months or longer, or war with North Korea, would likely tip the economy into a recession, he said. In general, he said President Donald Trump's imposition of tariffs create a drag on the economy, but he added, I don't expect a trade war alone to bring the U.S. economy to its knees. However, he added Federal Reserve interest rate hikes, import tariffs, and decreasing economic benefits from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 all will contribute to more moderate growth in 2019. From the Journal, an AP story. A biopharmaceutical company is laying off more than 200 employees in Colorado. The Daily Camera reports the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment's website has published AstraZeneca's notice to shut down operations in Boulder and Longmont. AstraZeneca spokeswoman Michelle L. Meekswell confirmed the layoffs via an email, and she says approximately 210 employees are impacted, and those employees will exit the organization March 22nd. The shutdown is in accordance with the Worker Readjustment and Retraining Notification Act that requires employers to provide employees experiencing employment loss with a 60-day notice before a layoff. Maxell says AstraZeneca will help employees find opportunities, including other potential roles within the organization. Maxell says the closure of Boulder and Longmont operations is about consolidating, quote, the biologics manufacturing network in one large-scale drug substance facility in Frederick, Maryland, to improve efficiency. And now today's High Canyon Country happenings. January 11th at Blondie's Trophy Room in Cortez, TMC and Tone E.T. make their debut in Cortez off the release of their new project called Natural Born Sinners with Hooligans. They'll perform from 8 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. Also January 11th, there is live music at the Wild Edge Brewing Collective with a great connection from 7 to 9 p.m. in Cortez. It's not bluegrass, it's not folk, it lies somewhere in between, a gritty and aggressive marriage of the two with influences of acoustic blues, alternative country, bluegrass, jazz, gypsy swing, and a shot of rock and roll. Blend until smooth and you have the great contention. And Sunday, January 13th, it's a Montezuma Community Barn and Contra Dance event from 3 to 5:30 p.m. at the Legacy Dance, 20 West Main Street in Cortez. Bring others with you or attend on your own. Feel free to share this with your friends. No experience or partner is necessary. You can dance to the tunes of local and regional musicians, and the caller will help guide you through. A beginner's lesson is available at no additional charge 30 minutes before the dance begins. All are welcome. Please check out their Facebook page for info about and videos of showing the Contra Dance. Tons of fun and good exercise too, they say. All of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with our YouTube channel and on-demand replays, weather, notices, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us by email. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 970-677-4119. Thank you for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday, and then is available on demand online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. Please like us there and share it with a friend. This has been a production of DCTV. For the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kendra Cook. Thank you for watching.